channel. My name's Adrian, and today I'm going to do another video on Alien, the latest TTRPG that has come out from Free League. I say come out, it is technically a second edition. This is the evolved edition that I absolutely adore. I really enjoyed the first edition, but I didn't actually get around to running it because the rule book was so big. But I've reviewed the new rule book, which you can just see over my right hand shoulder here. I'll put a link at the end of the video, and I really like what they've done with the rulebook. I've also done a review, spoiler-ish free review of the starter set, which again I'll link at the end of this video. And I've now played the starter set, and it's actually as good as I thought it was going to be. Well, actually, I think it's actually better. I'm not sure how the players are going to feel about how it went, but I think we agreed we all enjoyed it. So the next up is Rapture Protocol, as you can see over my left shoulder. So what I want to do is talk about this today, but because it is just a complete adventure, I need to do it in a non-spoily way as possible. So I think I've worked out how to do it. So I am going to pre-warn you, there's going to be some mild spoilers, but nothing that's going to affect your play if you're a player. For a games master, I think I'm going to follow up this one on when I've actually ran it and do a full review of it. And I might go back and do that with the starter set now I've sort of run it, like just have a loads of warnings go. This is, full warning for review, because this is the most non-spoily way that I can do this. And what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to show you what's in the box because I can accidentally open stuff up. And the one thing you're not going to see here throughout this whole video is any of the Games Master specific stuff, which in reality is it's a set of maps. So let me just show you what's included from the safest way that I can do this. So first thing we're going to see is the front cover with someone stood looking off into the distance, and what looks like there's a good chance an alien stood behind. Okay, so I can show you, I'd say it's 44 pages, 2-page adventure, and I'm going to leave it here, and I'm not going to show any more than this. The adventure is written by Jonathan Hicks and Thomas Harristam. I think then variety of art and stuff is in the book. But the adventure itself is simple. I'm actually going to come off this just in case anybody decides to screenshot it for too much longer. I think I'll just come off that. But the adventure itself is simple. So the player characters they need to pick up the stuff from the station they are at. They are currently at a station called Anchor Point Station, and they're to travel to Jeremiah 6, which is a frozen moon planet. They need to drop off the supplies. So this is an annual amount of supplies for the mining colony. They need to pick up the Promethium, put it back on their ship, and then they're just going to fly to Earth, drop off the Promethean, and the ship that they're in is just going to be decommissioned. That is the plot. What could go wrong? A lot can go wrong. It's brilliant. The adventure, if you've never played any of these cinematic adventures, they're done over 3 acts, and so obviously Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And during each act, each of the players have got a mission briefing. So they've got the NPCs, so they've got the character sheet themselves, which I'll show you some of the character sheets in a second. And then they're going to have, each of them will have a bit of history about the character, what they do. And then at the start of Act 1, you're going to give out each of them in secret a card. They're going to read that card, and that is the goal for the first act. Now, they don't know when the first act is going to become the second act and when the second act becomes the third act. They don't know this is going to happen. You just, as a games master, at a certain point, as dictated by the adventure, will say that's the end of Act 1. Take the cards back, and hopefully people will have achieved their goals. You then hand them out another one, and they get a new goal for Act 2, and likewise they get a new goal for Act 3. The semi-co-op nature of these alien cinematic adventures are absolutely amazing. And it just, because people have got their own agendas and you've got yours to do, and all the while you're trying to sort of cope with what's going on in the adventure, it makes for such a tense and exciting time. I think, looking at the time, I think this is probably 4 to 8 hours probably across the 3 acts, but that's the adventure. So just take some goods, drop them off, exchange them for new goods, get back on your ship, fly to Earth, have some time off, rest and recover. That's it. Right, let's go and show you some of the stuff that's included. Obviously, we've got the adventure, which is for Mother's Eyes only. So I don't really want to show you any more than that. But you are going to get some handouts to give to the players. I don't mind people seeing this first one. There are 5 of them in total, which, again, given out at certain aspects, which is just going to, all of them bar the last one, are going to be a computer readout, a little bit of things that the players are going to discover that the computer kind of throws out. So the first one here, which is quite safe, it just shows you the background of Jeremiah 6 when the sort of mining facility was open, give an idea of the temperature. You know, it's minus 35 degrees Celsius, so the players are fully aware it's a frozen planet. And a little bit of background on when Weyland-Yutani, yep, them again, they sort of started this. The next thing you're going to get is a map. So the players will then see a map. So here's the Fidanza, which is the ship they're going to land on, landing next to the facilities, and then the mine. Remember, the Games Master or Mother has a different, well, the same map, but it's slightly different. You've got a map of the ship itself. So with the upper and lower decks all intertwined, and as you can see, you've got these yellow things here. So these are like crawl spaces and places you can go up and down. Very much feels very alien. You know, there's crawl spaces above. You can hear things moving in them. And then you've got a map of Jeremiah 6 as well. And then there's another map that it comes with that I'm not showing you because it's a huge spoiler. But needless to say, Alien uses zones. So none of these are gridded. So you're not going to be moving 30 feet per round or whatever it may be, you know, across different grids. You're going to be different zones for areas of how close people are to you. So the Games Master, this comes with the Games Master one as well, which will have specific things in certain locations across different parts of the map. Okay. We've then got a bunch of tokens. So you can buy, it does come with, well, it doesn't come with, but you can buy when it comes out on the 18th of November. Load of minis to go alongside this. Doesn't matter if you can't, because it's going to have these tokens. All these tokens are two-sided. So we've got here the 5 player characters for the adventure, and 1 in a power lifter. So there is a power lifter in this, and obviously if you can find it, you may be able to use it. And if you can use it, we'll just put your little character on it. But the other side, we've got the motion detectors, and we've got a ton of them, as you can see, all the way through to A to X. So we've got 25 in total. And on the other side of these are people or things that the players will interact. So they'll see a ping if they use the motion detector. They're going to do use their motion detector. And as a Games Master, you put these pings on the map, because these maps are pretty big as well. They open up quite well. You know, this is really designed for a physical experience, because you're going to be handing the cards out and things like that. And as they get close to it, we can then turn them over, and then they'll know what they are. So the reason I'm not showing the other side is because I don't want to spoil what actually is on the other side of all these. We then get there's 5 player character sheets in here. So there's nothing spoily on this. So each of the characters, so we've got Benjamin York, who is the main officer, and his talent, he's a frontline leader. He gets +2 dice from command rolls when to rally a broken character. So that is always helpful, having someone along those lines. Gives a little bit of their background. All of this is open information. You know, his personality is lazy. He just really wants to get back to Earth. He's just had enough of being in space. We get Eliza Witt here. She's a pilot, and she's a little bit reckless, so she may take +1 stress level before making a ski roll. Before pushing, you can push the roll, normally gaining another stress level as well. She's obviously very good at piloting, but in general, most of the people it's kind of just want to get back to Earth. Martina Martinez, she's a company woman through and through. And you always view your situation, though it's valued to Weyland-Yutani. I do like company people in my settings, and they work well, because they're just going to have goals that may or may not align to other people. Eve Weiss here, she's the medic. She's going to get +2 dice when rolling a medical first aid. Nice, because she's actually friendly, so Yeah, it's all going to go very well for her on her last few days in space before she gets to return back to Earth. Then finally, Dominic Jeffers, I should say. And then finally, we get Dominic Jeffers, who's the Roughnecks 2 grit. You can push a skill roll based on strength twice, stress +1 for each plus. He's a highly confident engineer. He's 51. He's very boastful. So yeah, to play him, wow, it's good. It just gives you an idea of how to play all the characters. And then we're going to look finally at the cards. Well, I'm not. I'm going to show you one card. Because in the pack of cards, say you've got all of the different acts and the different motivations for all the players. And then all the other creatures that are in here. And so the one that I'm showing you that's a safe one is Mazarin, which is the ship's cat. So this cat just happens to be in the ship. Once per stretch, which is a sort of 5 to 10 hour window, you can roll for manipulation to reduce the stress level of a PC in the same zone. So that's why you keep cats on ships. And I think it's quite a theme, isn't it, for Alien and Aliens, is having the ship's cat for, I would say for luck, but it's I don't think there's that much luck when it comes to them. So I'd say the adventure itself, it looks like an absolute blast. So once it's done, I will do a follow-up video, a full spoiler video on how this went. I think I'm going to do one for the starter set as well, because that was great fun. So it's always that pressure, isn't it, of learning the rules and backwards and forwards with the rules for a little bit. But as a general, the starter set's as good, and this seems to, well, this is a lot longer. So the starter set, you're looking sort of 3 hours max realistically. With learning, say this, I think probably 6 to 10 hours out of it, something along those lines. I think I'll leave it there. If you've enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.